Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. I'm Joanna, and in today's video I'm starting with my makeup kind of half done because I'm going to be trying for the first time the NikkieTutorials X Beauty Bay eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to be swatching all these shadows, and I'm also thinking about doing a sort of simple and wearable makeup look to see if it's easy to use for an everyday thing. And yeah, I'm also going to be sharing my first impressions on this palette. So I do have a little unboxing of the order to see what pop socket I got, and also if I got a signed palette. So I'm going to insert that now and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just wanted to film my reaction to the unboxing. This is Friday and I got the package yesterday, but I'm only going to film on Sunday, so the box is different. It's got Nikkie's name on it. And I did get one of the pop sockets, and I just want to film my reaction in case I get the signed palette. The inside of the box is really cute, and I also got some things that are going to be going up on my channel soon too. Oh my god, I did get the pop socket I wanted. I was literally crossing my fingers to get the black pop socket, and I did get it. So I'm already very happy. And this comes with a little pamphlet of a back to school Beauty Bay tribe thing. I bought one of the new Beauty Bay powder highlighters that was €6.25, and I also bought one of the new Beauty Bay lip glosses that was €9.50. So I will be reviewing these in a video soon. I also got a brush that is on top of the palette. So I'm just going to grab the palette, and it's not signed, but I'm incredibly happy anyways. The box of the palette is amazing. And then there's also the brush that I bought, that is the Rose Gold Glam Round the Blend, that was €4.50. I think there could also be a golden ticket, so I'm just going to open it up. I don't know if it was supposed to be inside of the box of the palette or the box of the order. It has a double layer of bubble wrap and the little sheet that Nikkie mentioned. Okay, so there's no golden ticket, and I will give you a close-up of the palette soon when I'm filming the actual video. Okay, so now that we know that I didn't get a signed palette, although I am very happy with the black pop socket. So this is the outside box of the palette. It's got a very tiny glitters effect, and I think this will be a nice display on the background. I think it doesn't look that bad. And as for the packaging, I absolutely loved it. So I'm just dimming the light a little bit because of the reflection, especially on the light side, but I absolutely love the packaging, and it's also very different that it opens up like this, and it's just very the same on the back. Now, this packaging definitely called out to me, and I was thinking that this really reminded me of something. And a few months ago, I think, I did a video with the two sides of my personality, and this is what the look looks like. So this palette kind of really reminds me of that. So the palette comes with a plastic protection that I usually just throw off. And then this is the inside of the palette. I'm just holding the mirrors like this so I don't blind you with my lights, but you get a normal mirror that says I am me, and a magnifying mirror that says you are you. And this is the bright side of the palette, which is very kind of a little bit pastel, but very colorful and fun. And this is the more dark side of the palette. Now, the only thing I really wish there was in here would be a matte black eyeshadow. That would probably be the only thing I wish I could change about this. Also, the way you hold the palette, it might be a little difficult, like if you are actually trying to do your makeup using this palette, it might get a little bit weird, but I don't usually use the mirrors on the palettes. I do have a mirror, and when I do travel, that would really depend on the palette I'm taking. So I'm gonna go for the swatches now. Okay, so I am not trying to make the swatches look very pretty. I just want to see how they swatch and what the colors look like on the skin. So from left to right we have the shades Redemption, Blend and Snap, Ivy, Slasher, 5 AM, Roxy Kitten, Vla, Mikai, Mila and Underground. Okay, so for these shades, I think Slasher and Vla kind of swatched bad, but from the mattes, I'm kind of very impressed with Blend and Snap, and Mikai really impressed me too, being a red. And all the shimmers look absolutely stunning, and they also feel very kind of buttery or wet. And then for the other two rows, we have the shades Plot Twist, Aura, Bisschen Trut, All In, Ew, Pride, Zomer, Mama Tutorials, Amsterdam, and Mr. Tutorials. And from these shades, I'm actually really impressed with all of them. I know Plot Twist is an incredibly light blue, and the shade Ew looks a lot more green in person. Again, all the shimmers look absolutely gorgeous, very wet. And I'm going to be completely honest, the color story, once I saw it, I was not too convinced, but once I saw the shimmers, I definitely wanted to buy this palette. Okay, so now to try this palette on my eyes. There are a few looks that I really want to do, but today, as I mentioned, I want to do something more neutral to see if it's easy to use for a very, I would say, subtle kind of everyday look. But first, I'm going to prime, because not to prime is a crime. And I'm going to use the Kiko Neutral Eye Base. And just in case you are new to my channel, I am not a makeup artist. I am a makeup enthusiast. I am your typical average consumer that really likes makeup, likes to play with it. Okay, so to start this look, I think I'm going to set my transition area with the shade Basic Trut. This looks very similar to my skin tone. Maybe just slightly lighter. And for my crease, I'm taking the shade Mila, and I'm using the Jessup Luxe Soft Crease Brush. I usually do my crease color a little bit high because I have hooded eyes. And I'm also tapping off the excess because I usually do my eyes first, but today I decided to do my base first, and I don't want any fallout. This looks kind of like a brown beige color, a little bit more on the orangey side, but I feel like it's a really nice color for an everyday neutral look. or I mean even a glam neutral look. Okay, I feel like this one does take a little bit to build up the desired pigmentation, but it blends very well. Now I'm taking the Dress Up Luxe Petite Crease and I'm dipping into the shade 5 AM, that is the brown. And I'm going to focus this on the outer V, but also a little bit on the crease. Also, I think it's worth noting that these are pressed pigments and I'm not very used to working with pressed pigments or just pigments in general. So I think they might take a little bit more work or practice to get used to them. I do notice a difference from these pressed pigments and just normal eyeshadows. Just taking a little bit also close to my lash line. And I'm just taking the previous brush to blend this a little bit more. These shadows do have a little bit of kick up on the pen, but I'm tapping off the excess and I have no fallout so far. Okay, and for the matte on top, I feel like this is what I wanted. And now for my lid shimmer, I'm kind of torn between underground and all in. I think I want to go with underground, so I'm taking the Dress Up Luxe Smoky Shader, even though these might be better with the finger. Yeah, with the brush they are a little bit chunky and glittery, at least this one. So I'm just gonna try it with my finger. Yeah, with the finger it applies much better. We don't have as much precision with your finger, even though I did manage to get nicely close to the inner corner. It does look really beautiful though. So I'm just taking the brush I used to go a little bit around the edge. And on the outer part, I'm just taking a little bit more of 5 AM just to blend it in. Yeah, but I do think that looks really good. Okay, so to do the lower lash line, I'm just taking 5 AM really close to my lashes. And this is the part where I really wish there was a black matte, because I think I could use a little bit more smokiness on the outer corner. But let's be honest, the typical makeup wearer probably does have some eyeshadow palettes, most of them with black on them. It just would have been nice to try a black done in collaboration with Nikkie. And also I haven't tried any Beauty Bay makeup, so this is my first time trying Beauty Bay makeup. And I also have a highlighter and lip gloss that I'm going to be testing for Thursday's video, I think. And I'm going to blend under this one with the shade Mila, just like I did on top. So I guess you can say this is a very basic Trot makeup. I do have little bits of glitter on my under eye area here. I might have to apply a little bit more powder. Okay, so if the angle changed a little bit, that's because I had to switch my battery. But I think I just need a little inner corner highlight. So even though that's a little bit pink, I think I'm going to take the shade Ivy. Just pop that on the inner corner. Yeah, this is a little bit on the pink side, but I think it looks nice. And by the way, the shimmers feel very, very soft and squishy. Just also taking a little bit of it on my inner corner, on my brow bone I mean. But I definitely feel like they don't apply as well with a brush than with a finger. And I kind of want to do a subtle eyeliner. So I'm just going to line my lash line, and I'm also going to be doing a tiny little wing. And the eyeliner applied nicely on top of the eyeshadow. Some eyeliners really don't like this sort of more glittery shimmers, but this one worked really well. Okay, so I also took some black on my waterline, and for mascara I'm using the Marvel X Maybelline Colossal Mascara. So I'm just going to finish the rest of my makeup to tell you my first impressions on this palette. Okay, so that is my makeup done, and again, the highlighter and the lip gloss will be on my next video. I actually really liked it, but as for the eyeshadow, I do really like how this look turned out. Let me give you a close-up. Okay, so the shimmer looks absolutely beautiful, even though it didn't apply very well with the brush, and the mattes also look really good. As I mentioned, this is a very neutral and basic look, but it was really nice for me to kind of get to know this palette and see what works best for the mattes, see what works best for the shimmers. I also really like that inner corner highlight. Okay, but as for my first impressions on the NikkieTutorials X Beauty Bay palette, I definitely miss a matte black in this palette, and I feel like it's a little bit weird to hold, but that doesn't really matter too much. I do have some looks planned with this palette, so you are definitely going to see me use it in September and also in October. I am very curious for the shade Amsterdam, also for the shade Ew, definitely for the shade Mikai, and overall I think the shimmers look absolutely stunning. The mattes, the ones I used, I feel like I did have to give them a little bit more time to blend, but also it is worth noting that this is a pressed pigment palette. I do have eyeshadows that are more easy to blend, so this, for someone that is just starting at makeup, might be a little bit more hard to work with, but if you do give it a little bit of time to blend, it does blend very, very well. The shimmers, I do have to try it like with a wet brush or with a wet base. I feel like with a dry base and with a dry brush, the shimmers didn't pick up very well, but they apply absolutely beautiful with the finger. And I do like the color story. Again, the only thing I would add to this palette would be a matte black, but not every palette needs to have a matte black. So I definitely need to play with this more. And as I mentioned, I am going to use this palette a lot in the month or two to come, so be warned. And I do have some videos planned, and one of them is I'm going to compare this palette to the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Conspiracy, because I did see some comments mentioning that the color story is similar, so I'm going to compare some swatches. I don't actually think it's that similar, but I do get why some people think it is close. So overall thoughts on the NikkieTutorials X Beauty Bay palette. I am not too overwhelmed, but I liked it, and I definitely feel like I need to play more with it. And if you got this palette, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of it, and if you don't have it, let me know if you are going to try and get it on the second, it's not exactly a second batch, but it's a second order, something like that. I don't really know. And if you liked this video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up. I will leave on the side some of my testing palette videos that you might like. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos every Monday, Thursday and Saturday. And that is everything for this one. Thank you so much for watching.